To the Speaker of the House, whoever the new speaker is. Hopefully they'll decide.
Rachel's turned out.
Yes, she is. She's actually running for the Senate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have
Bethany, I have one.
Brian Pinto and Christine Kluge.
I need it back.
As far as I know, I'm not sure if anybody else.
Remind me, I've got a lot going on. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, dear. All right.
We started. We started.
I'd like to call this Tuesday, June 11, 2024, Knox County Commission regular meeting to order. There are only two commissioners here, not joining us by...
She should be here.
Was that?
She did say that she would be running a little bit late, so she would ask that we hold off on the presentation for Elaine until she arrives. So, but she will be here.
The whole point of moving the presentation to the beginning of the meeting is so we can honor Elaine and she can get out of here. The point of making this drag on by waiting for somebody, and though I would like to honor Commissioner Pullman's request, I think it's more appropriate that we honor Elaine first.
As you see.
Because that's the first thing we have on the order, is honoring Elaine Hallett for how many thousands of years have you been here?
45.
45 years. I mean, I can't even conceive of it. And it's not like we were sloughing along for those 45 years either. I mean, you know, it's sort of, people get into a routine. I think you just got better as you worked here longer. So thank you. Do we have any official?
I have official.
Would you like to make an official?
More than happy to.
Recognition?
Yep. So in January 1979, Casey Kasem was reminding us that the top #1 hit in the nation was Too Much Heaven by the Bee Gees. Something else happened in January 1979. Elaine walked into this courthouse and she went to work. And went to work she did. For 45 years she went to work, and along the way she made many, many, many friends. Some of those friends are here today. Some of them are not, and they wrote some letters. Some of these friends of Elaine's are Shelley Pingree, Jerry Golden, Susan Collins, and Angus King. They all wrote letters for you, and I'm going to give you those letters. My plan, Elaine, was that I was going to just read a little bit of each one, but after I got done doing that, I realized quickly that Shelley really nailed it. So I'm going to read just a little bit of what Shelley had to say. Dear Elaine, I am so pleased to extend my congratulations and sincere thanks as you retire from over 4 decades of devoted service to the people of Knox County. And I'll truncate this some. I know you will be sorely missed by your colleagues, but I am certain that you leave them with the tools to carry on your legacy of service and quality to your constituency. It is because of dedicated people like you, Elaine, that Maine has a reputation for being the way life should be. Our state is a much better place because of your vital work and your reliability to the people of Knox County. I wish you the very best as you begin your next chapter of your life, and thank you again for your service to the community and the state. Shelley. That kind of sums up a little bit about on April 10th of this year, our chair, Ed Glazer, said, what makes this county great are the great people that work here, and you are a prime example of that, 45 years. On behalf of the commissioners, the department heads, all the employees here for the county and all the residents here in the county, we thank you. And lastly, just a certificate of recognition is awarded to Elaine Hallett, Register of Probate, recognized by the county commissioners and the employees for 45 years of dedicated service to the county of Knox. See, it wasn't too bad.
I'll open it up to any of the commissioners that have anything they would like to add personally.
Well, I'll just say, Elaine, thank you. I've had the opportunity to work with you just a few times, and it's always been a pleasure. You will be missed, and your longevity and all that you've done for the county is greatly appreciated. I wish you all the best in whatever the future holds for you.
Is there anyone else who has anything? Yeah. Representative Pam Matlack?
Thank you very much. I first met Elaine when I was on the budget committee many, many years ago, and I served many years there, and you were always prepared, always efficient, always right to the point, and always right on target. So I want to thank you for all the years that you have served Knox County, above and beyond the 10 years or so I spent on the budget committee, and so would the remainder of the Knox County delegation. We have a certificate, we have a sentiment from the state legislature, from all of us in Knox County, from Senator Bibi Center to me, Representative Geiger, Representative Dudera, Representative Kluker, and also Representative Ziegler. So thank you so very much for all you have done, and I wish you well in your retirement. Thank you.
Is it time for the party? If nothing further, I just want to thank you personally. I mean, I think everybody's thank you, and we do appreciate it.
I'd like to get up and shake your hand.
Yes, we do hope that you're getting a bigger house now for all of the framed prints you now have. But thank you. Oh, Carol.
Yeah, Elaine and I have been together. I've been in my position for 30-odd years, and I could never have done what I've done without Elaine. She's always known exactly what to do. She remembers the cases. She remembers the people. From 30 years ago, 35 years ago, she'll say, oh, now that person's grandmother, blah, 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 the people we have before us today. So we can never replace that. But I know that she's ready for something new and different, and we support her. We wish she would stayed with us, but we do support her in her efforts and hope she'll come back and visit. She knows how we feel, and we cry, but that's all right.
And just to give you the opportunity to say anything you want to say, Elaine. No. I didn't think so. Thank you. Do you want to go shake your hand?
Yes.
Okay, let's go shake your hand. Say thank you personally.
Go ahead.
Oh, Elaine. I don't know how many years I've known you, but thank you.
In my last current permanent job working for the state, 39 years, so I have a little bit of a feeling of what it must feel like. It's a big load off your
Thank you. Our next order of business is the public comment. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Congratulations. I have requested I'm in a FOIA request
and I need that expedited, Commissioner Glazer, because, you know, I have to have that by Thursday, I'm in court Friday, and so I would ask that that be brought as high up the list as we can. I know Wendy's busy, she's a mother of four like I am. She's a busy woman, but I really need that to be expedited for justice sake, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Theodore Berry, good afternoon, Rockland. And just to extrapolate what Bethany Berry has requested. In this town, some people make false police reports. And it is absolutely vital that this county help citizens to ensure that they get access to the records that they need to vindicate themselves from false accusations. False accusations lead to police coming to the house at night and just wailing on the front door. And so anything that the county can do to get Beth Berry these records, I'd sincerely appreciate it, because it's been a very long, exhausting 2 weeks. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Seeing as there's none, we'll move on to the consent items, which include a motion to approve consent items as presented, which includes this agenda, the minutes of the regular commission meeting of May 14th, the minutes of the special commission meeting of May 21st, all departmental reports, the warrants, and the reserve withdrawals. Do I hear a motion?
I move we approve all of the consent items as presented.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? No?
No, yeah.
Go right ahead.
Does
No,
Rick have
go-
any? Rick doesn't have any. I'd just like to thank all of our departments again for all the reports. Much appreciated, and I would like to just also take a moment to thank our HR director, Amber Christie, for the work she's done with all of our departments, our staffs, and people, employees that we're bringing on board. I know we have a lot of new hires. We're really happy to see that, and I think for the first time in a very long time, most of our departments are at or near full capacity, which is a huge kudos to everybody who's worked on making that happen. It's much appreciated, and I just wanted to recognize that. So thank you. And I just wanted to thank Jeff, our interim airport director, for, I read your report. You've been busy. A lot of things going on. I appreciate it. I just have one question, Jeff, about PIA. Have they've taken, they're in the hangar now, and that contract is moving forward. I've heard good things. I've heard that their employments are up. I was looking at all the different employments. I know they've changed their fee structure to be more approachable, if you will, no pun intended, to by a number of the island residents, workers, and other people who need to transit back and forth. And I know that that has been well received, and so that's great. I'm glad they're settled in there, and that's going well. And then I just wondered if you, let's see, I think that was it for the moment. I just wanted to recognize you. Thank you for all the work. And one last thing, our director of EMA, Candace, hello. I just wanted to recognize the outreach efforts that the EMA department has been doing, particularly to our schools, and then the number of festivals that are upcoming. There's quite a large number of them, and I know that you've been asked to participate in a number of those in some capacity or the other. And we can talk, not in this meeting perhaps, but the funding for the Emergency Management Program grant. I know that we've experienced some serious cuts in that, and we can talk about that another time. But I just wanted to say thank you for your efforts to secure all that granting, and thanks to all of our other departments, finance, who keeps everything running, and Bob Coombs over there, and I wanted to recognize, very happy to see we have our 911 service and our PSAP back in house. That's wonderful. And to the sheriff and corrections, I know Captain Wood's not here, but I know it's been very busy, and appreciate. And I know the calls are there's been a lot of activity, I'll just say. So thank you, recognize that. That's it.
Thank you. Rick, do you have anything you want to add? I don't know if this is the appropriate time to bring it up. Following up on part of what Commissioner Pullman said, where we have the communications department back up and running, have we reached out to the individual towns, to the different select boards and the town managers with a letter basically explaining where we stand and what we look at the future? I believe we have a group that's meeting to talk about the strategic planning for the future, and I think it would be appropriate to let everybody know that just because we're back up at almost full staff or more staff than we've had and we're operating, is to explain that we do have a plan that we're working on, or we're trying to develop a plan for the future. And I don't know if that's an appropriate letter to send out, whether it should be the commission that sends it out, whether the county administrator or the communications director, but we can discuss that. But I think we should send something out to everybody. But thank you. And thank you for everybody's work. As I always say, when we look at the around, it's everybody in the county who's been working on this project. So thank you.
Could I add one more thing I forgot?
Of course.
Welcome to our new county administrator. I don't know if I missed that argument at the beginning, but I didn't want to leave you out. Yes, so welcome, Lance. We've had a chance to get together and talk, and very happy to have you on board. And all the feedback's been really positive, and anything we can do to help make this a very successful position.
You've all been wonderful. Thank you.
Well, thank you and welcome.
If you've noticed, the Gordon is not here, so the training wheels are off the bike.
I noticed that, yeah.
Right, and I think that touches on what the county's been doing, and especially thanks to HR, as you say, is the number of new hires we've taken on, whether it's the county administrator, the new airport administrator, the number of employees we now have in corrections, the number of employees we now have at communications is absolutely more work than we normally would do. But it does prove that the county's not a bad place to work. That a lot of people are coming to work here, and we think it's great. So thank you all. Okay, if there's nothing further on the consent items, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed. We have a number of action items. The first one is an act to change probate passport photo fees from $10 to $15. It's been moved
Second.
and seconded. Is there anybody who would like to address this item? No?
by looking at the data from other counties and other entities that do provide that service, it seems that we're behind the 8 ball. We need to catch up. 15 seems to be the magic number.
Okay.
Yeah, just reading just some of the research. The post office charges 15, Staples charges $17.99, Walgreens $16.99, and Walmart said $8.06 over the phone, but their website, I guess, says $13.50. But in many of the other counties are also charging $15. So I think that it, as Rick said, warrants the increase.
I think it's a great service that we've added. It brings in a little bit of money and keeps the employees hopping. And I think it gives more work to the employees. That's always a good thing, right?
Well, and it's a good service to our citizens. A lot of people don't know or have not been aware that we offer that passport service, which it can save you some time. They're really great down there. They know their things. You don't have to wait in line at the post office. Nothing against the post office, but it's just it's a nice service.
It is. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't do it, so I'll call the vote. All those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed. Passes. The other action item we have is an act to authorize the chair to sign the health service agreement between the County of Knox and Correctional Psychiatric Services from August 31st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Oh! Magically. Sheriff, would you like to enlighten us?
Yes, so we've chatted on this topic a few times over, as you can see, the last couple of years. Unfortunately, for either a host of reasons on our end or on the provider's end, we failed to finish the contract and get it signed. But to just go back to what it is, so back in August of 2022, our previous provider had stopped providing service. I don't remember if we terminated the contract or they terminated the contract. We needed services, reached out to multiple CPS, Correctional Psychiatric Services, because they were one of the other bidders that were involved in the original bid for the contract that was expiring or ending for the term. They agreed to enter into negotiations with us in a cost-plus contract as part of why services have been provided without a contract per se. But in working with legal counsel, part of the reason we're asking for the date period that we do is there are things that have gone on that each party needs to be responsible for. If anybody were to make any claim at some point, the term of the contract needs to go back that far in order to cover both parties appropriately during that term. So like I said, the reasons that it was delayed were nominal. Sometimes it was an occasional word here or there, or one party thought the other party's attorney had it, and just miscommunication. So it was not bad service, just miscommunication in getting the documents signed. So there are a few items that we are still waiting on to finalize. So like I mentioned, the board with CPS has agreed. They just have to get their president to sign off, which I believe has happened, but I want to make sure we get that appropriate document for us. We're also looking at a couple of the insurance terms. There's some confusion on whether they have provided all of the appropriate insurance, or just double checking that, which is why we're asking for the authorization for the chair to sign, so that once that is in hand, we don't have to have another meeting in order for that to happen. So, I will welcome any questions.
The one discussion item is budgetary.
Yes.
Does this overspend our, but I mean, this is what we've been spending all along because it's cost plus, so we know what the basic costs are.
So the vendor has forecasted an amount in excess of what we had budgeted. Like we talked about during the budget discussions, a majority of that in that contract is MAT. If you recall, at one point, the County Commissioners Association and the sheriffs worked together to petition the commissioner, or the governor, for additional funding in the jail supplemental funding that the state provides. The governor did approve some of those items. We are potentially slated to receive some of that money to offset this cost. So, not knowing whether we're going to get that money and how much of that we're going to get, yes, technically we will potentially be over budget. But if that money comes in through the supplemental funding that the governor had approved, we will not overspend that budget.
And just to add on to that, that MAT, which is medication-assisted treatment, is a mandate.
Yes.
Meaning we must provide those services, whether or not the state decides to fund it. So therefore, there's the conundrum. So and those are expensive services. They're required and they're needed services. In addition to the number of other, counseling and release planning, behavioral and mental health services that go above and beyond just, the basic services. This healthcare service, I think, you've been very happy with them.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're addressing a number of things, and the substance abuse, and MAT in particular is a very costly program that we must fund somehow.
Part of the jail standards, where that comes from, so there has been some legislation that has pushed some of those jail standards, but there also have been jail standards that have been started just knowing the legislation may come. But what the jail standards are is basically the state's mandates that we have to comply with. And as you mentioned, some of it was potentially above and beyond pre-legislation, but some legislative rulings had passed this past year that actually made what was above and beyond and now the minimum standard. And that's where some of that increase is coming from, is now because it is a minimum standard, we must provide it, and that has an unforeseen cost, so the vendor is budgeted above to be safe in the hopes that it isn't. But as long as we receive that supplemental funding, it shouldn't be an issue.
If we receive it, but in any event, we have to plan for it.
Well, we will receive some, we just don't know what. I know MCCA is still having discussions about how is that going to be divvied up. I believe the governor's office actually had weighed in that she had said, well, who was going to get what, and that should be what is divvied out. But
I'll ask tomorrow, because
it's still being discussed.
We have an MCCA meeting tomorrow, so it's timely, so I'll check on that.
And the only place that gets sticky is, we probably don't have enough money in reserves to cover those costs, if that's what it is. And that means we're gonna go above budget and corrections, and going above budget and corrections probably means reconvening the budget committee?
Possibly. So the other two items that I did not talk about is we did receive a $100,000 grant from the state with regard to some MAT and which is medication-assisted treatment, but also around PREA, which is the Prison Rehabilitation Act. So that funding is going to possibly be available soon. We're just finishing up some details that Captain Wood is working on for us to receive that grant money. And then I forget, there was another money source, it was kind of like a grant that potentially may come forward. But again, without those being committed, I don't want to commit to those until we know that we're going to get them. So it's better to say we're going to be behind and then surprise we're caught up versus the other way around.
I just want everybody to be aware that if we do go over, I think it's a more complicated process because there are limits to what we're allowed to spend. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Anything else?
Only the company each money to get a contract with this, they've been doing the service since 2022 without a contract. And I think it's our responsibility to see that they are made whole. And I think this does that.
I mean, without a contract means we haven't been paying them, right?
We've been paying. We don't want to get behind.
So they are whole in that sense, that we've been paying them what they've asked for. Yes.
Yes, that's the advantage of the cost plus.
Yeah.
So we just pay as we go.
Any other questions? Any other discussion? Seeing as there's none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed. Thank you. Discussion items. We have a discussion item on the airport manager offer. And I assume that that's this piece of paper, which is probably a press release. Is that the nature of this? No?
No.
This is just for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can give a high-level journey if you'd like. Okay. So we did a pretty expansive search for the airport manager position. We had a bunch of applicants, about 11 were qualified. We interviewed 9, did a formal kind of Zoom interview with 5, had 3 finalists. 2 we invited to come out and visit the airport, and we selected the one that we're going to make the offer to. They've accepted the position. They're down in Georgia, and him and his family will be relocating. He's going to work with Jeff starting July 8th, kind of in a remote capacity, start to get some legs under him, understand what's going on, review some documents, and then we'll start in person on August 5th. He has about 8 years of airport operations experience, and prior to that he was doing aviation fire rescue. Close, okay. For about 8 to 10 years. So really big on safety and compliance, working with the FAA, and just a really pleasant human being. So we're really excited to offer him this role and welcome him to Knox County.
Any questions for?
No, thank you to Jeff for helping through the transition, appreciate it.
No problem.
Has he ever been to Maine before?
Yes, he came for a 5-day visit,
Okay.
and he went from, down to the St. George kind of area, all the way up to Belfast, to look at housing. He looked at houses while he was here. They did a lot of exploring, so it was a great visit.
I think what Rick is referring to is this
Prior to that?
gentleman is coming from Georgia. It's a good thing he's starting in August, not like January 1st.
Yes.
Anything else? Anybody?
That's kind
Is-
of what I was thinking about.
The snow
this-
removal portion?
Is
He's
this a
ready.
position that needs to be approved by the commission? No.
Just more of an update for you on start date and a little
I
background.
mean, just there's a number of positions that need to be approved.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if this was one of them, so this is not. This is entirely through the administration.
Yeah.
Anything else? No. Unless you go.
I just can't thank Jeff enough. He's been outstanding. You can tell by the detail in his report that he's been providing a quality service on an interim basis, but we're lucky, and I'm happy to bring this gentleman on. So.
Yes, and hopefully he stays well enough so that in another 5 years, when we need him to fill in again, he'll be available for that too.
I'll check with my wife.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. Other discussion items include a staffing update. And I guess this is for anybody who wants to fill us in on where we stand with all the staffing.
Happy to do it.
I guess, yeah, it's on the agenda, so I think it's you guys.
Sure. So as far as the sheriff with law enforcement and corrections, I'd say with at least law enforcement fully staffed, I think corrections, we have 1 opening potentially? Or we just filled it yesterday?
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially 1. We are actively interviewing for the EMA planner position, so that's exciting. We are also interviewing for the part-time civil deputy position this week. We have a new dispatcher starting with us July 1st, which is really exciting, and we have 2 more job shadows and about 5 more applicants to go through. We're just staggering the hiring due to training and resources. We have a little movement in our probate office that's going to be pretty well handled. It's a unique situation, and I won't go into it today, but that should be fully staffed in no time. Other than that, yeah, we filled the county administrator, as you know. We've filled the airport manager. We had an airport maintenance worker retire with us last week, and we have the new airport maintenance workers starting with us next week.
Wow.
So we're pretty close to being almost staffed.
That, it's gonna be an interesting thing because we're gonna be able to test how well we work with a full staff. And find out that we still don't have enough people to do all the jobs that we have to do. I mean, because that's what we've been discussing in terms of reorganizing employees, how many do we really need to do the job? But at least it's not gonna, we can't turn around and say, oh, we need this many people because we're down 5 people. We'll at least have the opportunity for a while to start looking at it and say, oh, you know, now that we have enough people, maybe they don't need to do that job, they should be doing this job, or whatever, however you guys are gonna work it, however the structure of the county moves forward, it gives us that opportunity to do it with full staff, which I think is good. Any other discussion?
You mentioned the budget earlier, which reminded me, and I had, Lance, I think you and I chatted briefly, or maybe more than briefly, about how our budget cycle works. And that got me thinking about, we normally would have 2 check-in meetings with the joint check-in meetings with the budget committee and the commissioners, one in April, one in July, to just touch base on where we are in the budget, extraordinary expenses that might be coming up, budget items that might be going over, and so forth, so that we can hopefully work together to plan on a budget that is reflective of our needs and works for everybody. So with that in mind, I'd like to request, and I guess that will come from you, Ed, and Lance, and is Roger Peabody still the
I think so, yes.
chair? So maybe I'd like to propose that maybe we could try and schedule a quarterly check-in meeting sometime in July. Introduce you, Lance, to all the budget committee members, and then get the process rolling, since, you know, it seems like it's early, but it's not. We're halfway through the year, and it's time. And especially, we have great momentum going now with our staff. We're almost fully staffed. It's reflective that we've made the pay adjustments that are necessary. We want to keep that momentum going and build on it, and so that's what I'd like to propose.
We're happy to make initial contact, see what everyone's availability is in July. Earlier the better, in my opinion. Maybe before the holiday or shortly thereafter. But we'll send out a communication and get that started.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
Well, I think that's a great idea, just so that it isn't just a meet and greet, and this is our new county administrator. We would also need some kind of a financial report for the commission at that point, for them to sit around and say, oh yeah, that kind of, so we really have something hard and concrete to give to them too.
Yeah.
And a discussion of where the budget might go, you know, what we're looking at for the next year, and just what things that might be problem issues, so.
It
But
might be
yes.
more appropriate to meet towards the middle of July, so we have June numbers with us.
Whatever
Yeah.
you think best.
Okay.
Well, and it gives Kathy time, you know,
Yeah.
it's after the holiday. So
Yeah.
I think mid-July or even a little bit
Yeah.
later, Craig, that gives enough time, maybe more time to,
We
yeah.
were actually talking about this last week, and I had in my head, we normally met in August, so I
Oh,
think
so
that's what I
maybe-
had thrown out, to give a little bit of time to have Lance get acclimated, kind of have
Yeah.
all the information for departments and be in a little bit better position to
Actually,
discuss.
yeah, okay, well, August is fine too.
An accelerated schedule is in my opinion, best. You know, we are fully staffed on new, and really get everyone on the same page, earlier the better.
Okay, whatever you all work out is,
Yeah.
works for me too.
Yes. Good idea, thank you.
That's all I have.
That's all we have officially on the discussion items, but we have a lot of department heads and people here. Is there any other discussion items you'd like to bring forward?
while we're talking about the budget committee, we are doing a website training on June 26th, so that all departments are very well acclimated to updating their website for their department. So we have administrative staff, department managers joining. So when we get into that discussion, that may come up again. The website should be way more updated than you may see right now. So that's very exciting. And we are still working through our internal organizational study, going department by department to kind of what you mentioned, Chair Glazer, identify our needs and positions and making sure we're staffed appropriately.
Do you have an anticipated completion date?
Of the internal study, end of October,
Thank you.
ideally.
Okay, thank you.
I do, I have gotten a couple of comments on the website that there isn't enough up-to-date information. I know it's hard to get it, and I don't know who's going to be responsible for it, but I think we need to have things like meeting announcements on there, times on there, anything that's going on in the county. And I don't know if your information's on there yet.
I haven't circled back to check.
Yeah,
So,
but I've been told
good
it
point.
isn't.
Yeah.
And so we need to have, if we're gonna have a new administrator, at least this information should be public. This goes beyond what people talk about transparency. This is just, you know, the sheer act of being able to contact us, so.
Hopefully the website training will address all of those needs.
Great.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but it also points to perhaps a discussion later on about our IT needs,
Yes.
which requires a much longer discussion to address that and many other needs.
Well, the question is gonna be, is updating a website, keeping it up to date, is that an IT thing? Or is that just a communications kind of thing? And if that's the case, who are we tasking in our government structure to do that?
Well, who are we tasking?
Well, that's it. I mean, that's the question, is I don't know who we are.
Are we
and
doing
I think
that,
we need to.
anybody?
Well, it'll be up to each department head to maintain their own silo, their own portion of the website, rather than having someone go through them to get the information. They already have the information, whether they do it themselves or task it to one of their staff. They know the information and they know to keep it accurate.
Is that where the training comes in?
That's correct, yeah,
Okay, because, yeah, that one leads to the other, so.
exactly.
When we switched to the new website, all of our logins and the know-how for how to update our sections of the website no longer applied. And so not that many people have had the opportunity yet to have training or to get their own login or whatever, so
Yeah,
it's
so
all
we're-
kind of sitting there while everybody's waiting to get that education.
So we're catching up.
Yeah, okay.
Wonderful, good, because that'll keep coming up.
And I'll keep defending.
If there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion for us to convene an executive session to discuss information contained in records made, maintained, or received by a body or agency when access to the general public to those records is prohibited pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056F.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll take the vote. All those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed. Thank you all very much. We will go into executive session.
We're recording.
Oh, good. So we're back in regular session. I always feel like coming out of executive session saying, well, that was very productive. And having everybody say, well, what the hell happened? And not being able to tell anybody. But at any rate, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Seconded?
Our next meeting, we don't have any other meetings other than our regular meeting scheduled at this point. We don't have anything else on the table, so good. Any other discussion for adjournment? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? 3 in favor, none opposed. We are now adjourned. Thank you.